Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Star Nations Organization's main fan page here at Facebook, where I do a daily live stream. And it's about the spiritual conversation around the divination cards that I draw in the morning for the energy that's flowing for the day for all of us, right? And today is Tuesday, January 8th. January 8th. And it is cold and blustery here in northwestern Wisconsin, where I live in Toma. Yeah, we knew that the wind was coming, right? It's been forecasted. But I tell you what, I wasn't expecting the strength of the wind. It's, standing outside and feeling the spirit of the wind was really blustery. Holy cow. Yeah. Hey, Julie. Julie's here. Hi, Julie. Good to have you here in the chat. Thank you for coming. Before we get started, I'm gonna share and like the broadcast first because there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about before we get rolling with the card information. And so I want to get this piece done, and it doesn't take long. Oh, my goodness. Aw, it's an Amber Alert here in Wisconsin. Shano. Angel Madash, 15. Okay. Her name is Angel. Her name's Angel. So we're going to send angels to Angel, asking for help. 15 years old. All right. We're going to like and we're going to share. I'm sharing it to my news feed, the broadcast, just to let my friends know that I am live streaming. To join us. And there we go. I'll get that posted. Isn't it something? I don't believe in coincidences. They're signs and synchronicities, right? And so to pick up my phone and to start our usual, right, to share out in like the broadcast. As soon as I picked up my phone, the Amber Alert came across the screen for Angel Madash from Shawano, Wisconsin. And I have to say that whenever I see that kind of news, if you want to put it that way, that kind of alert, and especially, well, for any child, but especially when it's a Native child and a female Native child, especially at that age, there are thousands of missing and murdered Native American women, both in the United States and Canada. And many times their cases are cold cases. They're not looked into. And so, there's family that is wondering where their child went to, what happened to their child. And as the months roll along and the years become, the months become years, of course, you're thinking that this child is no longer alive. And so, yeah. So we're going to say a prayer for Angel Madash and that she's safe, and asking for the angels of the most appropriate realm to be with her and to help her, to assist her. Yeah, and that she be found safe. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Stephanie's here. Good to have you here, Steph. And Julia is saying she's been missing since December 31st. Oh, really? Okay. Well, and I wonder why the Amber Alert came across for today. I wonder. I don't think I can even get the Amber Alert back up. Oh, maybe I can. Here, she goes by two names, Angel Tomo and Angel Madash. Okay, well, we'll did the prayer for her to send some angels to her, and hopefully she'll be found and she'll be safe. She'll be safe. Hey, Andrea just popped in. Hello, Andrea. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. I wanted to talk about a couple things before we get into the cards, and that is, oh my gosh, I catch, and I'm in the chat for almost all of the shows, our live stream shows here at Star Nations, and I produce a few of them as well. But this morning, oh my goodness, I never felt so. I'm searching for a word that best describes what I was feeling this morning. And the only one that comes to mind is the word proud. Yeah, I'm grateful. Okay. Yeah. To have, just when I was going to say his name, he comes into the chat. Merwin's here. Hi, Nellie. So this morning we had two live stream shows, From Star to Stone with Mervyn Kelly, and also Chakra Sessions with Polly Jola Bay. And I have to say that those two shows today blew me away. It was the caliber of connection that they have with their audience, with the peeps, and also the information that was shared and how it was shared. I know that with Star Nations, when we first started Star Nations, it was really only about Blog Talk Radio. And then, I found a way to have the magazine, because I wanted to continue blogging, but I didn't want to blog in the same old way. And then, we years go by, and then, I find Be Live TV, right? And I knew at that point that that we were the platform, the stage, if you will, for those that are hosting their shows here and are contributing writers. Today was like a poster kind of day. The morning shows, the way that Mervyn, the way that you shared the information about magic and druidry, and your favorite authors and why they were your favorite, and the beta class that you were involved with, and talking about 2019, and not in the usual way, because usually, New Year's shows, because this was Mervyn's first show for 2019, they usually talk about, setting of resolutions, or, not just planning for the year, but you went way beyond that with your audience. And what I loved was the conversation, the back and forth conversation. It was like we were sitting in the room together. That's the way it felt to me. And then we get to Polly Jo's show, and the information she shared about the 12 chakra system, and what that means, and literally having people say to her in the chat that I just learned something new. And I just wanted to share that with you guys, because to me it's very meaningful. As a steward of Star Nations, that I feel that we are the amplifier, the megaphone for those that have shows with us and are contributing writers, that are teachers with us, is that helping to amplify their message and their gifts, so that we're in service to as many souls as we possibly can be, who are looking for information and assistance, and support, as they make their way through their earth walk here, their spiritual contract, their soul work. And so I I just wanted to share that with you and thank all those people who were in the live chat with these two hosts and those that will be watching the recorded video. It, yeah, thank you so much for stepping forward and saying, I want to be there. I want to be a part of that energy. I want to see if there's some information that could be helpful to me. And so, yeah, I feel really, really good. I do. I was happy dancing. In fact, I talked to Polly Joe right after her show for just a few minutes because I was getting ready to get Mom's lunch ready, prepared, and I just wanted to share with her. And I also wrote Mervyn a short messenger message thanking him for his show. And yeah, oh my God. It's one of those days, it's like, yay, happy dancing in the kitchen. This is good stuff. Yeah. So I just wanted to mention that. And if you didn't see the shows, maybe what we can do is Stephanie is doing. Oh, good. I was just going to ask you if you could put in the links to their two shows today, just in case people here weren't able to see the live show. They can catch the recorded. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention is yesterday afternoon, after we finished the live stream here, I packed up my stuff, and George and I, we get in the car to head back home. It's a long drive. It's like a block, not even. And we get back down to the house and I get my stuff unpacked, my laptop and all of that. And I'm looking at the time and I'm thinking, all right, I'm working on the magazine, January issue, right? And we're at the point of optimizing. The PDF is done. The text version for your phones is done. And so I was optimizing, getting all the links and all the video links, all of that hot, right? They're hot links. And so anyway, I was looking at the time thinking, okay, I've got probably another hour and a half or two of work on that. But what I want to do is take a look at something. Kyle Gray had his show at Hay House yesterday morning. And it was during a time frame when I was pretty busy. I couldn't exactly stop doing what I was doing to listen to his show. And so, what I noticed is that he had started a live stream, and so it was on Facebook. Now, that what was missing from the Facebook version is the music with his meditation, and also the I want to say readings that he did. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but the people called in and he was answering questions. But what little I heard, I watched, it was about not quite 30 minutes. I have to say, I kind of like the guy. He definitely, there's something about the accent, I have to say. I have a thing about Scotland and Ireland. So there's something about the accent. But what he was talking about, again, was the new year. It was his first show in the new year. And so the way he was talking about it as well, it was like we were on this, what he was saying and what we've been saying here at Star Nations, same wavelength kind of thing. And so listening to him, so I was happy to catch his recorded live stream of his Hay House show. Mm-hmm. It was pretty good. Julie says, yes, cute accent. And he's just plain cute. So and he's got a lot of good things to say, I think. And the thing, what strikes me is that, I don't know what his age is, but he certainly looks like maybe he's in his 30s. And to have that kind of connection to angels at that age, in my generation, most of us were grasping, at information and asking those big questions like, why am I here? What am I doing? There's got to be more to than just getting up, going to work, and eating and going to sleep. There's got to be more to life than that. And we were searching in areas like positive mental attitude stuff out of the business world, right? And that's the thing that struck me yesterday, was that here this guy, this young man, and his connection to the angels and to the ancestors is pretty profound. So I'm glad I was able to catch his replay. And Julie's also saying, I watched Mervin's replay. Very good show. I look forward to watching Polly Joe's show later. Oh, she's going to blow you away. Oh my goodness. It's really, really good. It's going to be, I've been doing this for a long time. Radio and shows and that kind of stuff. And there's a certain feeling around the information, the topic, the host, it's when all the elements and everything kind of comes together and it converges, and that's what happened today in both shows, is that I could feel it. I thought, oh my God, these two shows, these are the ones that are going to get shared time and time again, because people are going to say, yeah, this is what this person said, and I know you've been looking for this. And so that's the feeling I had. Not all shows are like that. I think we have good shows, but not all shows are at that caliber. And to have that happen 2 on the same day was, oh my God, that was good. Julie said he'll be 31 in February. So I wasn't too far off the mark then, huh? I was kind of figuring late 20s, early 30s. Mid-30s. Yeah. I'm just checking my phone to make sure that I didn't miss any comments. So yeah, I'm gonna contact. He probably has an agent, I would imagine, somebody who does his booking for him, and see if we can get him on as a guest, and also track down what's her name, Lily Moses, the artist, right? And have a chat with them. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see, because their time zones are so much different. We may end up using this broadcast, this live stream, to interview them, because it would be earlier in the evening for them. It wouldn't be like a 2 a.m. interview. Yum tea. Hey, Tina's here. Hi, Tina. Good to have you here. It's always good to see you in the chat. So the cards today, Tuesdays, I've said this a few times. Tuesdays are always very busy here at Star Nations, and also in my home life. Tuesdays is usually when we have the lady who comes to help me clean my house. Thank goodness for Susie. I tell her that every time I see her too. I'm so glad you're here. I so appreciate you, because there's no way I could keep up with everything and do Star Nations too, and Mom and George, and you know the deal. So anyway, because we have multiple shows on Tuesdays, and then with the magazine, the publishing date coming up and all that. This Tuesday today is a very busy day. I didn't get to do the card draw until after Mervin's show, and to get it promoted, right? And so it was very interesting to have the energy of the card draw between the two shows. So this is what came. This is the first card. All right, this is the first card, Oracle. Oracle. It says, wait for important information. Wait for important information. And this card is very mystical, isn't it? I mean, even more so than the Seer card, I think. She's got the stars in the very, very background, with the smoke coming up. So some people might say that as a smudge, right? But it could be frankincense. It could be any kind of spiritual plant that's being burned. And take a look at the smoke. What do you see in the smoke? What image comes to you in the smoke? I see a woman. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can hold it a little bit closer for you. Here we go. The oracle, right? Wait for important information. She looks so serene, doesn't she? You know, and the color red that she's wearing is a very active color, covering her head, her crown chakra. Yeah. I think that's probably an arm cuff, but it could be a tattoo of a snake. Yeah. Bracelets. Oracle. Wait for important information. Yeah. Let's see. Tina said, naked one at that LOL and a man above her. Okay, that's what you saw. I did see the woman and the man above her. Yeah, it certainly does feel like there's two beings there, doesn't it? And Julie say, I see a woman with two arms raised gently dancing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, and I saw the woman first. But I do get the feeling, Tina, that there's two beings in that image. I'm going to take this one down. There we go. I'll show it again. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what I see, let's see if I can get this right. Here we go. Is right here is what I see as the woman, and that there's someone or something right above her. Yeah. Now, here's what went through my thoughts, right? When I said, because that's not the first time we've seen this card, right? But it's the first time I've actually paid attention to the image of in the smoke. And there's a couple things that went through my mind. Is that with the smoke, I'm trying to find a way to explain this. Have you ever sat around a fire, right? Outdoor fire, and you got the smoke and the flames coming up. And some people will stare into the flames and get spirit will be speaking them through the flames. Others watch the smoke as it rises, and they get information coming through the smoke that rises. And I was thinking about how spirit brings information to us and how we take it in. And sometimes, we allow our mental mind to start the assessment. It's like, well, it could have been my imagination, or it could have been this, or it could have been that. And even my mom at 99 still does that, trying to find the logical explanation for it rather than being open to receiving whatever information that is and however it's coming through. And so when I looked at this card with the oracle, if you notice, her eyes are closed. And yet there's images rising. So whether or not we're seeing with our physical eyes, as we were just doing, or if we're seeing with our inner eye, our third eye, our intuition, we're getting layers of information. Layers of information. And both the seen and unseen. Yeah. Yeah. And Stephanie's saying, my incense right now has no smoke at all. Crazy. I suppose we're supposed to pay attention to the smoke that's here, right? That we're sharing. That we're sharing it. Yeah. The other thought that came to me about the smoke is that the Oneida Nation out in New York, right? We have a band of the Oneida here in Wisconsin as well. They came out, I can't even remember the year, the century. I think it was like the 1800s that they moved out here. But anyway, the Oneida Nation, they have a dance that's called smoke dance, and it's been revived. It's been revived. It was actually dying out. It was used in their longhouses, and their longhouses or lodges are very similar to a wigwam, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar with that structure, but the longhouse is really just the ovalness of a wigwam, but it's extended, so it's more of a rectangle. It's like a tube, right? And so there were multiple residents there, so it would literally be it could be father, mother, children, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. That's how big that place was. Could be, I should say, that would house an entire clan practically, right? And that was at before the colonists came in. But one of the things that they did was a dance called a smoke dance, and what that is because sometimes the fire, the indoor fire, the smoke would actually get blown back into the longhouse, right? And so, in order to clear the smoke out, they would dance and move their arms and their shawls and their jackets and things like that. And somebody would start drumming. And I was thinking when I saw the smoke, I'm sorry, but how fun would that be to do that dance, to clear the smoke out of the house. But that's where my mind went. And really that was about, talk about ancestors, is that was done as a practical measure, but adding the drum in there and being able to have this then become a dance that is shared in modern day, not so much in a cabin or a house that's filled with smoke, although it could be. Now it's at powwows and younger, the kids are learning how to do the dance, and that there's actually a competition, judged competition at powwows now for the smoke dance. Because when I was growing up, that was not a dance that was done at powwows, a smoke dance. So talking about ancestors and bringing information or something that our ancestors did into modern day, right? Yeah. Let's see. Tina is saying, my mom always finds logical. Yeah, so does mine. Yeah, but my mother's clairvoyant. She's clairvoyant. She sees. And then she'll say, oh, I don't know. It could have been this or it could have been that. But she's also clairaudient. And she has double hearing aids. And so when she takes her hearing aids out, she doesn't hear nothing. But yet she's telling me she's hearing sounds. And did you hear that? Somebody was saying something. And so, yeah. So, yeah, she looks for that too. Tina's also saying there's something on her nose. Yes, there is. She has an adornment on her nose. It's like, what is it? A pierced nose. Yeah. And Andrea is saying a lot of feeling on her face. Yeah, a very expressive. That's, I was saying serene, and because she's there, she's waiting for important information. And how many of us go into meditation to ask questions and to and Tina's saying there's a spiritual significance to the way the smoke goes up. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Absolutely. Um, we would be saying that the prayers are going up to the Creator, right? So when we go into meditation, or when if we're looking for answers, right? Many of us have been trained and taught how to make the request of prayer for help, for assistance, right? Which is a good thing. But many of us have not been trained in the quiet meditation, the quietness when you're listening, when you're paying attention, and what Spirit or Creator has to say to us when we're quiet. And so when we wait for important information, we're sitting in the silence. There's a lot of Native nations here in the United States. They have a term for it, right? And the Onondaga out on the East Coast call it going into the silence, going into the silence, going into the quietness. Lots of different ways of saying it. What that is, but good question here is how many people in the chat, how many of you guys sit in the quiet, where you're not asking the question, but you're receiving. And to me, that's kind of like the conversation, right? Is that when you have a conversation, a respectful conversation, I should say, one person's listening, one person's talking, right? And the person listening generally listens without asking questions and interrupting, but they take it in. That way that the mind, because it's so well trained to be analytical, is so well trained that the rushing forward to prepare the question, or to ask that next question before that first question's even answered. And so it's a practice, I think, of not just patience, but it's almost finding that peacefulness from within. That you're mindful of your breath, and you're mindful of the quiet and the solitude. And when I first started doing that, I put a cover over my eyes. I wore a blindfold. It was first a headscarf, and then I found so they're called mindfolds, and I found something that could cover your eyes, that you could actually have your eyes open underneath, but it's blocking your sight, and it shuts out all of the external stimulation. And in my meditation room, my medicine room, I don't have any windows. And so when I close the door to do a meditation or to do journey work or whatever, it's dark. I mean, you can't see your hands in front of your face. So it does take a little while for the mind to quiet down, but eventually it's quiet. Eventually. All right, let's see. Hey, Violet's here. Hello, Violet. It's good to see you in the chat. Julie says, I do when I can find quiet. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes finding the quiet is the challenge, isn't it? There was a time in my life when that wasn't such a challenge. That was before my mom moved in and before George showed up. Yeah. But, it's And I know we have busy lives, don't we? And carving out the time, saying, I'm taking this time to be in the quiet. And there's times I think that we can even do that. We don't have to have our eyes blindfolded. We don't have to be in the dark. And sometimes it is that hike out into the woods, out on a trail somewhere. Maybe it's just sitting outside in your backyard for a few minutes, you know, where it's as quiet as it's gonna get. As quiet as it's gonna get. Yeah, thank you, Stephanie. She's posting about the magazine. Andrea is saying, especially in nature, that is great to do. Yeah, it is. It is. But there's a quality of the mindfulness and to be in that receiving mode, right? And to be in that quietness. Is to have that mental mind kind of let go just for a moment, right? Just for a moment. Hey, Annie's here. Anne Marie Retzloff's here. Quiet equals hibernation. Thoughts of positive reflection to recharge for spring. That's a good one. That's a good one, Anne. Thanks for sharing that one. It's a good reminder, really. Oops, gotta take that one down. And Tina says, when I begin to go to sleep, things happen to me. Then in the morning, I wake up thinking spiritual things all day. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that in between spot for me, between awake and asleep. So we get that twice a day, right? We get that when we're falling asleep, when we go to bed, and then when we're starting to wake in the morning. And it's those times that I've gotten some really good information from Spirit during those times, especially in the early days of my awakened journey. Yeah. and now, really, I'm not trying. I really have a problem with that word trying. I do make time to be in the quiet. Sometimes it's only for a few minutes. Other times I can get in there and do like a 15-minute, meditation. And, I do feel so much better, especially when when I'm doing the quietness piece, when I'm in the receiving. And rather than the doing and saying, okay, like when I go in to work for a client, right? It's very, very for a specific thing. And there's, how do I want to say this? There's a intention, right? To be able to go in and do a soul retrieval or to find out information for them. So you're actually doing something. When we go in to do a quietness meditation, really the only doing there is to breathe, and to receive. Yeah. Sometimes it's not all that easy to do, but it really feels good. It really feels good. Yeah. And we have so many tools, don't we? We have so many tools. We talked about the drum yesterday and how we can use the drum to get into that in-between place, so that you can ask questions about your spiritual gifts, so that you can ask questions about your greatest desire. We have the opportunity and the tools to be able to help us do that. We also have the opportunity and tools to do the flip side of that, and that is to go in, to be quiet, into that silence, and to receive and to wait for that important information. And when I pulled this card, now remember, this was right after Mervin's show, and probably about a good hour before Polly Joe's show started. And I thought to myself, Okay, so we got some really good information during Mervin's show from Star to Stone. And here we are waiting for Polly Joe's show to start. And when she started talking about the 12 chakra system, that was information that we were waiting for. And how is that going to affect our soul growth, our process, and in that journey, right? Talk about taking your belief system and examining. Okay, we spent decades in the seven Kundalini chakra system and studying it and working with it and understanding it and now we're moving into the energy of the 12 that's already here, and for our mental mind to get to wrap itself around it, right? Yeah, waiting for important information. Let's see what Kyle has to say about the oracle. Oops, went right by it. Okay, the message is: be open and receptive to information. Gather facts so that you can make a decision that is in line with your integrity. So here we got a whole lot of information today, this morning already. And so when you sit with it, how is it going to play out for you? How is it going to be useful in your soul growth, right? Yeah. He goes on to say that the oracle is the truth speaker and the insight bringer of the deck. The ancestors who will be your best outspoken girlfriend. Do you have a friend that will tell you things that you think, oh, I didn't really want to hear that? They'll tell you the truth, and a lot of times they're the ones who are kind of blunt, right? I try not to be hurtful, but sometimes it's like, one time, as an example, Paul and I went out to dinner. It's Wisconsin. We do Friday fish fry, right? And we went out to dinner. We had to wait for a table, and so we went up to the bar, and we're sitting there, and the bartender, young man, was very friendly, and was a good bartender, and he says I said, so what are you doing we're in Portage, Wisconsin. And he said, well, I was going to school, but I ran out of money. And so I'm trying to get back on my feet and blah, blah, blah. Well, he spoke like three or four languages, and he was a very thoughtful person, And didn't know him. First time I'd ever seen him. What did I say to him? So why are you hiding out? What are you hiding from? Better question is, who are you hiding from? And he stops in mid stride and turns around and looks at me, and he said, oh my God, I am hiding, aren't I? And I said, well, who are you hiding from? And he had to go make someone else's drink, and comes back and he goes, that's a good question. I'm going to have to spend some time with that. Well, weeks go by, we go back, and he's working, and he said, I did spend time with that, and I realized I was hiding from myself. That if I actually finish what I started with my education, that I'm going to have to do something with it. And what if I fail? What if I don't do what I set out to do? And he said, so if I don't finish it, I don't fail. He said, but that was a young person's, statement of that. So anyway, that's the bluntness that you don't always get to, yeah. Sometimes you just, I don't know. It's just the way that some people are, and we all have somebody like that in our lives somewhere along the line. All right, so Kyle goes on to say that she holds a bowl that has sacred smoke rising out of it, bringing the message to look beyond all you can see and gather information in order to make an accurate evaluation of your current situation. So gathering all the information, both the seen and unseen. And for me, that is the balance between the head and the heart, right? So you're doing your due diligence, you're doing your research, and you're bringing in information, but you also connect with spirit, and you ask about information, and you sit to receive. You sit to receive. Yeah. Just want to check the time here. Okay. So, so that is the oracle. I got one more thing to say that Kyle had in here, and that is the other piece that jumped out at me, that there's an opportunity for you to see everything clearly at this time, but you'll only be able to do so if you're willing to truly open your eyes. If you've been waiting for further information about a choice you have to make or action you have to take, don't take matters into your own hands, but let what needs to be revealed be revealed. Then you'll know exactly what to do next. The angels are supporting you. Trust them. And sometimes us two-leggeds, we get impatient and we try to force it to happen, right? And there's that thing about that control issue, right? Is that if I make this happen, then. So we force it sometimes, or we want to force it, and we're unwilling to be patient for it to happen, for the unfolding of it, right? In that divine timing. But that is a two-legged situation, I think. We're learning though, aren't we? So this was the first card, the Oracle. Wait for important information. The second card, this guy, he hasn't been around for a while. Stargazer. Stargazer. And the card is set your sights higher. Set your sights higher. And this one is all about being supported by all of creation. Okay, so we were just talking about things that happen, and you try to look for logical things to understand it. Okay, so my light, it's got a white umbrella, and it's on a pedestal kind of stand, right? And it literally went like this. so I could literally see the umbrella kind of shake a little bit. And I thought, well, okay, where's George? George isn't anywhere near it. And the umbrella, the whole light fixture moved enough for me to see it. So I was just going to say that our ancestors and the star beings, we have all of creation here on Earth, but we also have all of creation above us. The star nations, the star ancestors, star beings that are also here to help us. Set your sights higher. So if we set our sights higher, and not creating small, but to create with our soul, right? And whatever that is to actually allow that to occur. That, because sometimes we think that, oh, that's too much, that's too big, right? And let's do something more manageable. This card is telling us to set our sights higher. And if we even think about this from that chakra point of view, right, is that's what Polly Jo was talking about during her show. Is yes, we do have our 7 chakras, but there's more. There's more. Setting your sights higher. I want to see a little bit more about the Stargazer. since we haven't had him in a while. Stargazer. Here we go. Set your sights higher. The message is go beyond your limitations and believe that the impossible is possible. That the impossible is possible. That there's miracles all the time. All the time. Some people call it a miracle. Others would say that it is divine intervention, right? Even in the smallest of ways, it's still a miracle. And then we get to the really big ones. Like when you think that it just wasn't going to happen, and then something occurs that's even better than what you thought it was going to be. Okay. All right. Julie's got something here. She says, Angel Tomo from the Amber Alert has been found safe. Yay! Thank you, Julie, for sharing with us with that. For those who came in a little bit later, I was getting ready to share the broadcast, the live stream, on my phone. And as soon as I picked up my phone and had the screen up, the Amber Alert came through for a 15-year-old Native American girl in Shawano, Wisconsin. And so, I don't believe in coincidences. It's like, so that was the first thing I saw when I picked up my phone. So I said a short prayer for Angel, and I said, and her first name is Angel. So we ask that angels of the most appropriate realm to be sent to her, to help her, to assist her, to keep her safe, and that she be found safe. Right? Yeah. So thank you, Spirit, for being there and putting people in the right place at the right time. And if she needs further assistance, is to be there to help her to get what she needs to be in a good way. Yeah. Thank you, Julie, for sharing that. That's important. Okay, so Stargazer. He says that do you remember staring up at the stars when you were a kid? Of course, I loved that. And he says a stargazer connects with the energy of the cosmos and reminds us that you have the ability to draw on support from the universe. So look beyond where you are and create even bigger dreams, visions, and goals. Because with the power, the help of the cosmos, those wishes can come true. So when we couple that with the Oracle card about wait for important information, right? We got those two cards that came together. Hold up, both of them. Is that we're waiting for the important information to come through. And it could be that the information that's coming through is that you're waiting for is really big. Bigger than what you thought it was going to be. More important than you thought it was going to be. Okay, so when we're waiting and we receive that information, when we receive the important information, is to turn your attention to how you feel. How do you feel about it? What are your emotions around it? Pay attention to that piece. Because that's going to help ground whatever it is that you're waiting for that's really important for you to know for your soul growth, to ground it to the earth plane. So really notice your emotions around it and feel them. If you feel happy, really feel happy. Do that happy dance in the kitchen. If it makes you feel like, oh my gosh, it's too big, go ahead and feel that feeling, but then turn it into a positive, right? Turn it into a positive. It might feel that way right now, but I have help. I have help. I have the entire universe behind me, with me, supporting me. And talk to your spiritual team and asking them to help you to to be more confident in the information that's coming through, because it's big. It's big. Yeah. So Nellie is saying awesome news. Yeah, about Angel? Yes, it is. It's good stuff. And so with the Stargazer, he's saying that you're on the verge of a miracle. All of your dreams and aspirations are within your grasp, and you're being guided to focus on your vision. The angels who are with you are encouraging you. There's nothing that you cannot have or achieve. There's an opportunity at this time to heal an old wound or pattern of lack and not feeling good enough. In the past, you've often found it impossible to recognize your worth and believe that you are deserving of blessings. Angel and ancestor wisdom is reminding you that you have an incredible and infinite spark of the universe, and the universe is not only within you, it absolutely adores you. You're talented, filled with strength, and have the abilities to you need to turn your wildest dreams into reality. So as we wait for that important information, because we've asked Spirit, we've asked the Creator, and now we wait. And in that waiting, what the universe is creating for us is huge. It's good stuff. And so when you sense it, when you feel it, that information and what's coming, is really, really pay attention to your emotions, to your feelings around it. And if you feel kind of, I don't know, I don't know if I can deal with that, if I can handle that, is to remember to call on your spiritual team. And you can ask them for anything. Nothing is too small and nothing is too big. You can ask for that. Yeah. Violet says, oh my God, these cards are so right. I do believe so. I do. And honestly, I do believe it has something to do with both Mervin's show and with Polly Joe's show. Yeah, I do. I have a very strong feeling about that. Yeah, we'll see how it unfolds for you. Can't wait to hear, all the good things that are going to be happening. So we are at the top of the hour, and this hour goes by so fast, doesn't it? No coffee today. I have tea. What do you have? So as I was putting things away, I had just, made the Be Live, scheduled the broadcast, and shared the show with the peeps at the closed group at the radio network closed group. I was putting the cards back in the box, and this one fell out. I didn't ask for it. I was just putting things away, and the wise one shows up. The wise one. So, and I didn't really, I really didn't say, I'm going to sit down and read about this one and from the book, right? What I said was, thank you. I thanked the elders. I thanked the ancestors for coming to us today and showing us the most important information, the most important energy that's flowing today for us to know about, and that we're listening, and thanking the ancestors for coming and blessing us with this card to show us that they're here with us, helping us and guiding us. So grateful. Yeah. It's a good card, isn't it? So I just wanted to mention that. That was another card that came. So remember, anything that resonated with you in this chat about the cards today is to embrace, pick it up, embrace it, and watch. Be aware, notice how the energy is unfolding for you today and where this information could be helpful to you. Maybe you're a direct participant in it, or maybe you are a witness to someone who is embracing that. So either way, we learn about it, right? Either way. And if it didn't resonate, don't worry about it. There's always tomorrow. There's always the cards tomorrow. And sometimes we're the messenger. Share the link with somebody that you might, that might enjoy the information or the conversation. Yeah. And so hopefully you'll be able to join me tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern for Communications from Home. We're going to be talking about the January issue of Star Nations magazine because we're publishing in 2 days. Yay! So I wanted to share with you some of the backstory of the first issue of 2019 and of the contributing writers in their articles. So hopefully you'll be able to join me for that. It'll be fun. And we're going to be talking about, one of the best things I've done in a long time, and that is to publish this magazine. So I can't wait. And then tomorrow is Soul Connections with Polly Jo LeBay, and that's at 7 p.m. Eastern. And that is a show that's about healing and card divination, individual cards. So the first half of the show is about the healing meditation. And then the second half is that if you would like to have a card drawn for you and read by Polly Jo, you can join us for that. Okay? All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for the live stream, the daily live stream, and the card information at 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay? All right. Bama Mina. That means in Potawatomi, until we see each other again. I love you guys.